Hello. So a curious thing happened to me yesterday. I'm in Padia and I was walking down Walking Street with a friend, and I told this great story about back in the day when I was in Patia. How I used to hang around with these mean evil Russian gangsters, and I learned the leadership secrets of Vladimir Putin. And he was very amused because it's a great story, and there's only really one problem, is that it never actually happened. All the component elements of the story happened. I did hang out with some dodgy people, and they did tell me stories about Vlad, but they never actually happened the way I tell the story. And I thought, why did I tell that story? Why did I tell such a colossal fib? And it's a story, and I think one of the reasons is it's because it's a story. Before I got clean, I used to tell a lot because I was mad. But now, sort of like on there, I was like, why did I do that? And anyway, I called the guy up and I said, listen, I'm sorry, that story I told you about Vladimir Putin, colossal fib, but I've decided I'm not going to tell it anymore, which is a bit of a shame because it is actually one of my favourite stories. But there's no reason for. I can actually tell the story without trying to make it about myself, which is probably a metaphor for my life. Anyway, I decided for one last time, I was going to tell the story, and here it is. So, back in the day, 2008, I'm in Padia, and it's early in the morning, and we haven't started any of the serious drinking. We are at a beach bar, and there's me and there's this bunch of these Russian guys, and there's Yuri and there's Boris, who are the sort of like ones with the bad haircuts. And by the way, I love Russian people, I really do, and I love going to Moscow. Moscow is fantastic, so there's no anti-Russian agenda in any of this. Go Moscow. But anyway, I was so Yuri and Boris are the sort of typical ex-KGB guys, the kind of guys they psychometrically profile to see if you're a psychopath, and if you are, then they'll send you to university for 3 years, then they'll put you in Spetsnaz, then you'll do a little secondment to Mossad, and then you come back. And the other ones were the dogs, right? The guys from the gulags with a lot of really scary ink tattoos on the eyeballs, and all manner of devilish accoutrements. And it was about April, May 2000, and Vladimir Putin had just gone into power. And when you first see a picture of Putin, it's the way he'd been brought up through the whole Gorbachev thing. He looks like a reasonable man. And I said, isn't it good that Russia's getting isn't it good that Russia's getting a liberal president? And these guys just started laughing, like I just told the funniest joke. And to start with, it was only a couple of them, because only a couple really understood English. And then Boris sort of translated for the whole crew, and they're killing themselves laughing, banging on the table. And Russian people don't normally laugh much, and if they do, it's generally not at that time of the day, and not before they've had a seriously large amount of vodka. Or indeed anything else. Actually, it's a bit of a myth that Russian people drink vodka exclusively. They'll kind of drink anything. Mostly nice wines, these guys. Anyway, so they're all laughing, and I'm sitting there going, well, it was supposed to be a little bit ironic and maybe shade witty, but it turned out to be the funniest joke I'd ever told. And Boris sort of he translates to all the other guys, and they're all they're banging the table. They think it's hysterical. And finally, he said, Paul, he goes, Vladimir Putin, he's KGB. And I said, yeah, I know. He said, he's ex-section head of Europe, KGB. I said, yeah, I did know that. And he said, in KGB, he had many nicknames. And then he said something else, and they all laughed. Fast forward 5 minutes. And he said, there are many nicknames. In fact, he's so famous, he had a nickname in English. And then he goes into what the nickname is in Russian, and they all laugh once more, and I'm feeling like a real schmuck. And finally he says, yes, in English, Vladimir Putin, his KGB nickname is Mad Vlad the Bad. And I was like, okay, well, that's... And if you saw what he did in the Chechens, you were like, okay, that sort of the cap fits. Anyway, that's the first time I heard about the leadership secrets of Vladimir Putin, and this is the last time I'm going to tell that whopping great fib. Please check out my blog at ghosttreatments.com. Thank you.